And welcome back to another episode of the Amazin Citi podcast. As always, it is your host, Antonio Slater and Jack Ramsey. Jack, I know you're prepping for some fun times in Florida with Hurricane Watch, but still, I got to ask the question: how are things going?
They're all right. They all things considered, they're all right.
Okay.
Um, I don't like living in Florida,
Yeah.
but this is my first time having to prepare for myself and not living with my parents
Mm-hmm.
or on a college campus. So, a little more nerve-wracking.
Sure.
I'm sitting next to the window outside and I see like 8 different things that I need to move.
That sounds like a fun time.
Yeah, just a lot of chairs, tables, potted plants.
Mm-hmm.
But, just prepare for the worst, hope for the best, and go from there.
There you go. No easy way to segue into that, but the Mets are playing a baseball game today. But since our last time
Thankfully, not
recording,
in Miami.
yeah, thank God. Um, they did clinch a playoff spot in Milwaukee. That was a fun series. That was a fun series. A lot of, I mean, if besides the last game, if the bats are playing like that and the pitching is doing their thing, you have to feel good about where the Mets are at. And they did the same thing in Oakland, but like that's Oakland, and I still don't know what happened with deGrom. That was the first time I can truly say like deGrom just looked bad. Like it wasn't a he was hurt. It wasn't a he was getting squeezed. It wasn't a it was just deGrom looked bad. It happens. People can look mortal every now and then. But if the lineup is going to perform the way they did in those 6 games, I feel like you like their chances going into the postseason. They still are in first place in the NL East with a 1-game lead with what is it, 8 games left, 9 games left. Check.
Yeah, 8 games for both.
8 games for both. Okay.
Have the
They have 2 with
same.
Miami, and then it's a critical series that is in all likelihood going to decide the division.
Yep, you have 2 with Miami, 3 with Atlanta, 3 with Washington, and the Braves go. They have 2 more with Washington, 3 with the Mets, 3 with Miami.
Yeah,
So
and
the
the good
Mets
thing
do
with
avoid Alcantara this
yeah,
series, which in
and
theory should line him up.
yeah, they said that if the last game of the season is meaningful, they will pitch out Contra against the Braves. So that's something to kind of hang your hat on. Another thing is, I get that it's a very close division right now, and it's probably going to be the remainder of the season. But one thing you have to remember is the Mets just need to win 1 game to win the season series against the Braves. And if they do that, since there's no longer the tiebreaker game, there's no longer game 163, that in effect takes away another number from the magic number, takes one more game away from it. So if they go into that series with a magic number of, let's just say they win the 2 games against Miami, which God willing they should, the number of 8 goes to 6, and then it goes. They just win 1 game. In theory, it goes from 6 to 3, which is huge, just from winning 1 game.
No, and I mean, I think a lot of people are putting a huge emphasis on pointing out the importance of winning your division as you look at the postseason,
Mm-hmm.
which obviously it is huge. But I think another big change this year it's being overlooked is there is no more game 163.
Yeah.
If the Mets take 10 from Atlanta, they won game 163.
Yeah.
That is your 163 is that head to head with your divisional rival. So, I mean, assuming the likelihood that the Mets go into Atlanta with the 1 game lead, if you take 1 game, let's say you even go 1 out of 2, you go into that, you leave Atlanta tied with the Braves, but you have that head to head.
Right.
So at that point, all you have to do is just, God forbid, you can't win out versus the Nationals. But you'd have 3 more
I mean, they rolled
with
over against the
Washington.
Braves, but they'll wake up for them. That's how things go.
Yeah. But you'd have 3 more with Washington with the season series secured against the Braves, and you'd still effectively be in first place.
Yeah. No. Absolutely.
All the Mets really have to do, if the Mets take 1 game from Atlanta, they're leaving Atlanta still controlling their own destiny, assuming they go in with a lead.
Mm-hmm.
So I think that's all you can really ask. We've
Yeah.
been saying that since I think July or August. Go into Atlanta with the lead. Well, granted, we said get to September with the lead, you control your destiny.
that
That didn't quite work
that
out.
didn't quite go well. And then another thing is that final Brave series is for them is in Miami. You would think theoretically, hopefully, as a Met fan, and really just as a fan of baseball, that they would kind of pick up the pace a little bit, pick up the play, considering it'll be their final games under Don Mattingly. You'd hope that they kind of give
That
him a
team
fair
seemingly
send
loves
off.
him.
But what's that?
Seems like that team loves him.
It seems like they do, but after 7 years and only one postseason appearance, it's just it's time. The guy's
Are
old.
we even really giving him credit for a postseason appearance?
It happened, but it happened. It happened. I'm gonna
They
give him
won
credit.
33 games.
I understand. I understand.
What a stupid year.
It was a very
That was
stupid
such a
year.
fucking stupid year.
It was a very stupid year, but it's a year that happened. It was a stupid year for God knows how many reasons.
It is a year that happened.
It's a year that happened. You can't say it didn't.
No, man, it's pretty spot on.
Yeah. But I mean, it's gonna be interesting down the wire. It's gonna come down to it.
I mean, I think you're at the point right now. You've 8 games left. Magic number is 8. Every game is effectively its own playoff.
Right.
Every game is must win.
Yeah.
Obviously, I don't think anyone expects them to go 8-0 down the stretch, or even really a 7-1, because it seemed like the 700 pace that the Braves were on just come back to reality in September.
Hmm.
They have that 2-4 road trip out west. They go to split in Philly and whatnot. So they've definitely seemed to kind of have a reality check of late. But on the same side, the Mets have not taken advantage of that.
Right.
If the Mets had just split, you're taking 2 of 3 with the Cubs at Citi Field. Your lead is 3 games right now.
They take 2 or 3 against the Nationals at Citi
I think
Field.
that means your
It's at
magic
4
number would
games.
your magic number would be 6, 4, something like that. A
Right.
hell of a lot lower than 8.
It's a hell of a lot lower than 8.
So
I
the
feel a
Mets are
lot
very much in
better.
a spot where if they'd handled what they needed to handle
Hmm.
against Washington and Chicago, this division would be over.
Oh yeah.
And not to say they have no one to blame but themselves, but
I'm going to say they have no one to blame but
they
themselves.
have no one to blame but themselves.
Yeah.
That the play of those 2 series is the reason this division is still as wide open as it is.
Yeah. Yeah. It has nothing to do with what happened in June because the Mets played damn good baseball. The Braves just went on an 18-game winning streak. It had nothing to do with happening in July and August because the Mets were running at a 650 pace and the Braves were playing at like an 812 pace. It was something remarkable. Now it's come down to playing the opponents that you have on your schedule now. The Mets had one of the easiest first halves of September that I think we've ever seen. And let's just face it, they choked it. they didn't handle business as they should have, and as everyone expected to. But now they still put themselves in a position, regardless of what they did in the first part of this month, where they still control their own destiny. I think that if we're following your prediction, they can go 6-2, and I think things should be good if they go 6-2.
Yeah, I think you just hope that they go 6-2 and those 2 losses aren't in Atlanta.
You would sure as hell hope so, because I don't think anyone is expecting them to get swept. It would be damn great to win 2 out of 3 in Atlanta. That'd be friggin' peachy. But we'll see what happens. You lined up your pitching staff, whether they did this on purpose or not, where now you have your top 3 guys going in Atlanta in some combination of Bassett, Scherzer, and deGrom. You would think deGrom bounces back from, again, one of the worst starts that we've ever seen from deGrom since, before he was Jacob deGrom.
Basically, Texas.
Right. Was that the start where Terry had to wrap his arm around him?
Yeah.
Yeah, that was probably since then. It was weird, but again, you would expect him to bounce back. You like your chance with Bassett and Scherzer, and again, you would think deGrom gets back to form, and then you just you go from there. Then you go 3 more against the Nationals, and I guess I would line up. Would that line up deGrom at the final day of the year?
I think it does. I can pull up Fangraphs and see what they have.
Because I guess
They
I would
usually have this
pick his
stuff.
first against the Braves, right?
I believe he does. Let's see.
So .com still has to be determined for.
Yeah, the .com's not going to have it up yet.
Yeah. Yeah, I'm not sure what the order is going to be.
Let's see. All right. 2022 Mets schedule. They're currently lined up Bassett, deGrom, Scherzer, Carrasco, Walker, Bassett.
So it'd be Bassett on the last day.
Yeah.
I mean, you're not mad about that.
No, but what really scares the hell out of me is Taiwan Walker versus Josiah Gray. But, you have to get through Miami first.
Yeah.
That's
Yeah,
Carrasco, Lopez,
we can't overlook
Walker,
these first two
Luzardo.
games. Because if you overlook these two games and you have all your sights set on Atlanta, you lose these first two games, it's done. And it just gets set for the wild
It
card at
does
that point.
not matter what you do in Atlanta if you lose these two,
Right.
especially at home.
Yeah. 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 If two of your last 5 games at home, you know the crowd's going to be there. You know the stadium's going to be packed because it's 2 night games. You got to bring it.
Yeah, you just gotta hope the team's there.
Yeah. And luckily, like I said before, the bats are swinging pretty well right now. Escobar is insane. Alonso is hitting nukes again. Lindor is hitting line drives all over the place. I mean, top to bottom, with the exception of a couple guys that I'm not going to name because, especially one, it's just obvious that they suck right now. 1 through 9, you feel good about the production. Even Vientos have come in some good spots.
I think the big thing with Vientos right now is that it's just like he's a pulse.
Yeah.
He went
Yeah.
yard. The bats are seemingly competitive. He's shown that he can still just run into one and hit a nuke. So I really don't think that there's too much reason for concern about him. I mean, even if you've been following his whole career, he always struggles right when he gets promoted somewhere. Oops.
Mm-hmm.
He always struggles once he gets promoted. And I just it's better than Darren Ruff.
I mean, I was looking at the numbers yesterday. The guy's a 24 OPS plus with the Mets. 24. It's not good. And that's with a better trip in Oakland. Like, if you want to know how Darren Ruff is doing with the Mets, just look at that one game where the Mets scored like 15 runs. They had like 19 or 20 hits, and he went 0 for 5. That's pretty telling. It's pretty telling of what he's been doing with this team.
Yeah, man, it's what the fuck. It's the best way to put it.
It might be. It's
Wait, his last 7 games, he's 3 for
concerning.
16.
And that's a hot stretch for him right now.
Yeah.
It's really not good.
No, definitely very not good. He had a multi-hit road trip.
Hey, all right.
You gotta start somewhere.
I guess.
Look at me being the optimist.
But yeah, man, like just going by WRC plus in the month of September, Escobar 183, Alonso 162, Tomas Nido at 158, Lindor at 150, Nimmo 147, Vogelbach 138, McNeil 126. Like these are guys that you're gonna need this last week and into the postseason, and those are the guys that are stepping up big time. McNeil's playing for a batting title. Alonso's trying to hit 40 home runs, and I don't know, at this point he might reach 150 RBI. Lindor is having a career year. I think we need to go back to something that I put out a few days ago. Since 2000, Lindor is the 5th National League shortstop to reach 100 RBI. 5th. in 22 years. That's insane.
Who would the other ones be? Corey Seager.
Nope.
Really? That felt like a slam dunk. Trey Turner?
Nope. But he's at like 98, so he's going to get there.
Okay.
2 played in Colorado.
Too low.
Mm-hmm.
Story.
Yep.
Did Ian Desmond do it?
No.
Oh.
Good guess, though.
Maybe like yeah, I mean like that those Washington teams were good.
Yeah. Ready for the other 2?
I want to get a couple more guesses in.
1 played in the state that you're in.
Oh God, Hanley.
Yep.
Jose never did it.
Jose never had more than like 70.
I don't know. Those Colorado years, maybe that Miami year.
And the final one was Edgar Renteria.
See, I was never gonna get that.
Yeah.
I was never gonna get that.
So since 2000, National League shortstops have 100 RBI. Trevor Story, Troy Tulowitzki, Hanley Ramirez, Edgar Renteria, Francisco Lindor.
Corey Seager never did it.
Nope.
Yeah, well, he's always hurt.
Yeah, and that's the thing. Does Seager have 100 this year? I feel like he has to, right?
82.
How many?
82.
Oh, it's a crap team.
He was only a 779 OPS.
Really?
He's
How do
been
you have
very
like
bad.
32 tanks and have below 800 OPS?
He's only played. It's only the 4th year in his career that he's played more than 130 games.
Wow.
2016 he played 57, 157. 2017 he played 145. 2018 he played 26.
Oh, I didn't realize his average down 247. Then that'll do it.
His OBP is only 320.
Mm.
What a shit show in Arlington.
Speaking of Arlington, the Mets Braves series might be played there.
There's a concert there that weekend.
Is there?
Miami's open. City Field has no event that week.
But they're not going to move it up that north to give.
There's no way they ever would. But I think
No.
if they
Especially
cannot get
because
it,
it's considered a Braves home series.
well, if they can't get it into the other 29 ballparks,
Yeah, what choice do you have?
yeah, unless you're gonna go play it in the Field of Dreams, which almost feels worse.
Yeah, it kind of does. But yeah, if you're just in case you're missing it because of the hurricane, it might roll through Cobb County. And that
I
in that
hate
case,
that they play in
have
Cobb
to.
County. Atlanta is in Fulton County.
Yep. I mean, you have the New York Giants and Jets. They play
that-
in East Rutherford, New Jersey.
That pisses me off too.
It pisses everyone off.
But looking at the forecast right now,
Yep.
somewhere around mid to late day on the 2nd or on the 1st,
Mm-hmm.
this storm should roll through Atlanta.
So when they
30 to 35 hour wind. So 30 to 35 mile per hour winds.
holy hell, you said on the 1st.
Yeah.
So when they start the series, or that would be game 2 of the series.
If they, I feel like in theory they could move it up.
Mm-hmm.
They both have that mutual off day.
Are they both off Thursday? Indeed, they are.
You could move it up
So,
to
in
Thursday,
theory-
Friday, Saturday.
Yeah, they could.
It makes Saturday like a 110 game.
They could do that. They could make the games on Wednesday. What time is it? Because the Mets and Braves, they both play at 7:00 on Wednesday, so they can move those games up to like 1:00 to help from travel. Move it to Thursday, Friday, Saturday. Just give them off day Sunday, I guess.
Yeah, or in theory you could. Well, they'd have to get out of there like that.
Right.
So I mean, in theory, you could probably do like a Thursday 410 game, a Friday 110 game and play the other game at like 11 on Saturday to allow time for them to get out.
Yeah. I don't
So, I
know,
mean,
man.
as a Floridian, 30-mile-per-hour winds doesn't sound a lot, but I know it is a lot.
It's a lot. I mean, we
I'm
can't.
looking at 75 to 85 this weekend.
Oh my God, dude.
Dude, at least I'm not out in like Tampa right now. They're looking at Cat 3 landfall. Yeah, someone was like, why don't they move the games to just Tampa? The Rays aren't home that weekend. Like, dude, that whole fucking dome's gonna rip up and fly away.
Yeah. Yeah, they're gonna. I think they're gonna have to find something, another
They're,
place
they're
to
gonna have to
play these
find
games.
something. Literally anything.
Yeah, even if it's just like a minor league park, just make sure it has major league dimensions.
Wow. Chris Bryant went 100 home plate appearances this year at Coors Field and did not hit a home run.
Someone put out. I don't know how true it was. Someone said that he had more tweets this year than hits at home.
I mean, shit, maybe.
Oh man, ridiculous.
As the experts say, tough scenes.
Tough. Scenes are tough. Scenes are tough.
We'll talk about a bullet dodged.
Yeah, and I'll hand up on that one. I said they should have gone after him, and golly, that's
Oh, I think we all did.
yeah. I think it was just like assumed that he'd be playing third base for this team, and it's a damn good thing that he's not. Because I get Escobar has had some struggles this year, but I mean,
His play in September
DeGrom,
has wiped away.
yeah, dude's gonna hit 20 homers.
That's all you can really ask.
He's gonna hit 20 homers. He got like what? He's got to have close to 60 RBI.
Let me check.
No, so that's a big moments. And again, this month it's been stupid.
He's got 63.
There you go. If you told me that someone who's going to be missing a few weeks because of injury and was going to be struggling was still going to hit 20 homers and 60 some odd RBI, I would take that.
Yeah.
Are you kidding me?
No, I mean, absolutely.
Plus, I mean, at this point, that's our guy.
Good,
That's our
bad, or
guy.
indifferent through thick and thin.
Oh,
That's
yeah.
our guy. That's our guy.
Oh,
Well, I
are you
think
concerned about DeGrom?
yeah, I am. He's falling. Not, I'm not gonna say he's falling apart, but he's really kind of starting to hit this rut around 70, 75 pitches. He he got lit up the other day.
That's putting it lightly.
It's
He got
very McGill-esque.
he got shit canned in Oakland.
It's very McGill-esque from last year. Tyler would be impeccable through 75 pitches,
Mm,
but when things fell apart, they fell apart.
no,
And he struggled a little bit against the Cubs.
the Cubs start was weird. The Cubs start was weird because nothing was really hit all that hard. It was just like I think in one inning they had 4 infield singles, a couple throwaways, and then you go, I think 2 homers. I'm not sure, but
I think too.
yeah. And the Pirates start was a wash because he looked absolutely unhittable. And then in the final inning, he left a couple pitches over the middle. They got a couple singles, and then O'Neill Cruz isn't human and one-handed a back foot slider 425 feet.
Did you see his Savant page?
Yeah, I did.
This is like one of the worst outs above average in baseball, one of the worst whiff rates. Hits the ball harder than anyone else. It's faster than anyone else.
Yeah.
I don't get it. I never want to. I
He's fun to
love that he's
watch.
an anomaly.
He's fun to watch.
Oh yeah.
I've always said if he learns to just consistently put the bat to the ball, he's going to be
A lot of fun.
He's going to be special.
Yeah. No, absolutely.
Like his two
But
home runs against the Mets this year were humans don't do that.
it made no sense.
He one-handed a ball into the Allegheny. Like, can we can
That's
we
a big ass river.
can we talk about that first? And then against deGrom, the best pitcher on the planet, took the back foot slider, just flicks the wrist, and it goes into the bullpen 425. I don't get it. I don't get it. Kid's nasty.
Dude is nuts.
Yeah. So that's what, like, I'm not really all that concerned about deGrom. I get the points that you're making about how he kind of not hits a wall, but just isn't as dominant once you get to like the 80 pitch range. But if you're telling me that game one of a playoff series, deGrom is your starter,
Oh, you still feel
you
great
still
about
like your
that.
chances. 80% of deGrom is better than 100%, 120% of almost every other pitcher, not named like Max Scherzer or like Shane Bieber.
No, yeah. No, you just hope it's something he's working through, getting back into the routine of regular heavy innings,
Yeah.
yada, yada, yada.
This guy hasn't pitched in like 2 years. Give him a second.
My bad.
That was more so for
Reactionary fans.
like Joe Beningo. You heard that
Sucks.
clip, right?
Yeah, he fucking sucks.
Yeah. I'm not going to say it's a foregone conclusion that deGrom's going to walk, but like, if you got a shot to resign him, yeah, you give him the money. I know it's going to cost a shit ton, but
It's
like,
I don't know. They're guys who have no business talking sports who get to do it because they either have funny voices or funny names.
yeah, or they've done it for a while and
You really think a
they just care.
Sal Lacita's a real person?
I don't get me started about him.
I don't have to worry about him. He blocked me a long time ago.
I love it. Love it.
I definitely got blocked for calling him fucking stupid one day.
I love that.
It happens.
Yeah, see, sometimes I try to get blocked and it never works. Like I've tried to get that bozo over at SNY to block me, he just never has.
Danny Abriano.
No, no, no.
Oh, Martino.
Yeah, that's a guy.
No, see, I wish I wasn't blocked by him because like he's actually important sometimes.
Yeah, sometimes. It's not important now.
Oh yeah, it's not the winter time.
Yeah. Right now I was tweeting about his Aaron Judge. I don't care. He either
It's
tweets about
amazing
Aaron
that
Judge
some
or if the Mets lose, which is I wonder why that is.
it's amazing that some Yankee fans are upset that the Blue Jays intentionally walked Judge in extra innings yesterday,
Like
as if the Blue Jays don't have the third best record in the American League.
I don't get it, man. Cry me a river.
I mean, that's what do you expect?
Yeah,
What do you expect Josh Snyder to do?
they need to win the game.
No,
They're still
literally,
holding off Tampa Bay for the top wildcard spot. They're playing for home field, which is a big advantage.
yeah. I mean, it just doesn't make any sense.
Yeah,
Yankee fans are so stupid. No, I mean they have a 3-game lead over Tampa for that last spot,
yeah.
but Baltimore's still hanging on.
Yeah, they pants Boston yesterday.
Part of me thinks I want to see them make the postseason.
I would love to see them make the postseason. I'm sure you do because you're wearing their shirt.
So true. Part of me also thinks I can't stomach the idea of part of me thinks I can't stomach the idea of like Jordan Lyles being starting pitcher one in the playoff series.
Yeah, that's
Like I think that would make me throw up.
yeah, a little bit. A little bit.
Man.
Yeah. game one of a postseason series, you have Kevin Gosman against Jordan Lyles, Justin Verlander.
Justin Verlander and Dean Kramer.
I mean, hell, Dean Kramer shut out. No, it was Kyle Bradish shut out the Astros. That was another weird series. But it's getting down to the nitty gritty in baseball. Final full week of the season. Teams are clinching divisions and postseason spots every day. The Guardians clinched the division with 85 wins. You know, I just think the Braves should be moved to the NL Central. They could take the Braves. We'll take the Pirates. I think it's a clean 1-for-1 swap.
Whenever they expand Major League Baseball,
Yeah.
I hope they go to 4 divisions of 4 teams and they do like north, south, east, west.
Right.
Never have to fucking see the Braves again. Give me like the Mets, the Nationals, whatever team they put in Montreal, and the Pirates.
Yeah. What are you gonna do with Philly?
Fuck them.
They get relegated.
Mets, Nationals, Phillies, Pirates.
I'll take it.
That'll work.
I like it. That's a brain of a thinking man right there. I like that division lineup.
Looking over at these.
Like, we're gonna have back-to-back years, whether it's the Mets or Braves. We're gonna have back-to-back years of a 100-win team not winning the division.
What's Atlanta at right now? 96?
96.
I'm not going to say it's totally possible the Braves don't win 100 games. But I think things are a little dicey for them right now.
I would say, I mean,
the Strider injury,
yeah.
they have not looked as good as they usually do lately.
Strider's injury, Morton's kind of hit a wall a little bit. Odorizzi is awful.
No, Morton got lit up yesterday.
Yeah.
Or on Sunday.
Yeah. Yeah.
But I think the flip side of this is, or the flip side to your point of Mattingly and the Marlins, potentially playing up against the Mets with something to play for, to send Donnie out on a high note. There's fully a chance they can pull the same stuff against the Braves.
Right, and that's the final home series.
Right, and that's the Mets are at home against Washington.
Mm-hmm.
In Washington?
No, it's at home.
Mets are at home against Washington. The Braves are in Miami.
Mm-hmm.
And that is a ballpark of horrors.
Mm-hmm. And that would be, if you
any and
line
everything
up the way it is, I guess it would be Pablo Lopez, Jesus Luzardo, and Sandy Alcantara in that final series.
I think so. The Mets are lined up for Corbin.
Corbin's hurt.
He's still technically okay. Well, they're lined up for Corbin's spot, Josiah Gray and Eric Fetty.
Okay.
With Walker, Carrasco, Bassett.
I feel like, because there is the off day tomorrow, I wonder if they rearrange it, keep deGrom on the 5 days rest, have him start the first game. That would line him up for the final game of the season.
That's probably exactly what they're going to do.
I wouldn't be surprised.
I would be surprised if they didn't do that.
Yeah. Or when did Scherzer start last?
In the second one of the games in Oakland.
Was he?
I think he started the last game in Oakland.
Yeah. So I mean, you could move Scherzer up to the first game then. Right? Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday. Yeah, Friday's the 5th day.
Yeah, I mean, you could.
I would. So I've talked myself into it. I'd be shocked if they didn't move it up or flip flop their rotation around if Scherzer or deGrom was not starting game one. Because let's face it, that first game of the series is pivotal. Because 1, you set the tone. 2, if you win the game, you win the season series, and then you go from there.
No, yeah.
I mean, go back to the 5-game set. Buck thought the first game was so important. You had Diaz pitch 2 innings.
No, and I think you also, Atlanta is going Freed, Wright, Morton in some order like that.
Believe so.
You're completely missing Strider.
Yeah. Well, Strider might be
Him
done for the
with
regular
him being on
season.
the IL, might be done for the postseason.
Yeah, listen, obliques are not
Scherzer
even
missed
saying this
10 weeks
as
with his.
like a screw. Like obliques are nothing to mess with, especially from
No,
a pitcher, like a
Scherzer missed
fireball in
10
pitching.
weeks with his.
You got to
10
be
weeks from
careful with
now
those.
is 10 weeks from now it's Thanksgiving.
Yeah, and then Scherzer missed another start because he went back on the IL because the left side was tightened up again. He went on the IL twice. I mean, granted, Strider's 23 and
Yeah.
Scherzer's 38, so it's a little bit different, but still, you don't want to mess with the oblique. You come back too early. I'm Noah Syndergaard. Noah Syndergaard tried to pitch through the
You
same
could
thing,
Yep.
completely tore it, done for the year. You gotta be careful with them.
Yeah. All right, hot takes.
Let's do it.
Well, considering last week I said the Mets were not going to win again before we recorded, I don't think that one went too well for me.
Well, that was a little reverse psychology. So
Today's Tuesday.
today is Tuesday.
Really hard to say when we're going to record again because I don't know when I'll have power.
It's a fair point.
I will make my
We're
hot
a
takes for
TBD.
the. I will make my hot takes for the rest, just for the remainder of the season.
Okay.
So the Mets and the Braves are going to finish with the same record,
Okay. I do like that. That's out there.
but I'm not going to specify if that's the Mets get swept in Atlanta and beat everyone else, and the Braves like shit the bed the last season
Mm-hmm.
series, or I don't know. They're both going to go 5-3 down the stretch.
Okay.
Or no, Mets will go 5-3, Braves go 6-2.
Feel less good about that.
And that's how the season will end.
Okay. Um. So are we just going based on like the last week or so of the season?
I don't like games.
I'll go. On the final day of the season, Max Scherzer throws a complete game.
Like it.
Yeah.
He wants the ball.
Yeah. Now I'm hoping. I mean, granted, this is all kind of depending on your
You're hoping
situation.
that's like a Jose Budo start.
I mean, kind of that'd be fantastic. But I'm gonna say I'm hoping if the Mets clinch the NL East beforehand, we'll be able to record. But obviously, we can't set that in stone because we don't know when you're gonna have power again. So again, we're kind of to determine when we're gonna record again. But you think Mets and Braves will finish with the same record? I'm saying on the final game of the year, sure this was a complete game. We got anything else?
Let's go Mets, baby.
Let's go Mets. I'd say we talk about football, but I don't think any one of us wants to talk about football right now. All 13 teams kind of.
Broncos won. That's all I can care about.
Yeah.
Two very ugly but somewhat good teams.
Yeah, it's kind of a good way to put it.
Yeah.
But all right. Follow on Twitter, subscribe on YouTube, subscribe again, and subscribe a third time. Make another account, subscribe a fourth time. And then guess what? Get all your fan members, get them together, subscribe on YouTube from their accounts. It's Jack Ramsey, it's Antonio Slater, and as always, LFGM.